welcome to Joanne's Sweet and Savory Creations. Today or tonight, I'm going to make for you teriyaki pork steaks. I don't know if I've done teriyaki, a video on teriyaki pork steaks before, but I am tonight. And I want to thank everyone, and for the new subscribers, I think I got a few, and the ones that's already been subscribed. Please check out my whitening fish video. I believe I made 4K on that. I'm proud of that. I mean, it might not be a lot of numbers to some, but it's a lot to me. It's a great accomplishment. So please check that out. I think I posted it today, so you can look at it again. Okay. We're going to get right into this recipe. Things that you don't want to use, of course, you can omit it from the recipe. And this recipe will be in the description box. Okay, I'm going to start with my seasonings, which is garlic powder, black pepper, parsley, adobe, that's all-purpose seasoning, Goya, and bay leaves. A little Worcestershire sauce, teriyaki, and butter. And then I have some onions and bell pepper cut up here. So when I come back, we're going to get into this recipe. These are some large pork steaks. I mean, wow. And if you don't want to use pork, you can substitute it with beef if you want. Like, I always give you a substitution. So when I come back, we're going to get into this recipe. All right now. Okay, I am back. So I rinsed my pork steaks again a little bit because there was still some residue of the blood in there. So I want to make sure I get it all out. So I'm going to go in with some garlic powder. And you want to make sure that you season both sides well. These are some big pork steaks. I mean, I asked my daughter to take out pork chops, and I forgot I bought these, and she took these out, and I was already thawed out, so was beginning to thaw out, so I had to cook them. So we want to go in with some black pepper, and like I said, you want to make sure they season well, because these are some big steaks here. I'm going to go in with my adobe seasoning. And we're just going to put some parsley. Flip it over. Well, before we... Excuse me. That's the pepper got me sneezing. But before we flip it over, I'm going with some parsley. I'm going to put the teriyaki on it first and then flip it over. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. We're going to let this bake. Good thing about pork steaks, they don't take very long to cook. So probably about close to an hour. You want to make sure they're tender and cooked all the way through. So I'm going to go in with my Worcestershire just a little bit because it's salty. So I just want to go in a little bit. I'm going to bring y'all up so you can see this a little closer. Oh, that pepper got me, y'all. It got me. It got me. So we're going to do a little Worcestershire. And then we're going to go behind it with the teriyaki. And this is going to cook in the meat. It's going to give it a good flavor and a good look. Okay. Oh, it smells good already. So I'm just going to take, flip these over the other side, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side of the meat. Like I said, if you don't want to use pork, you can use steak, I mean, you could use beef. You can also do chicken. Anything you like. If you want that teriyaki taste. And guess what my soon-to-be husband is bringing home? Steak and rice. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's what I'm cooking for dinner. But it's okay. I'll take it for lunch probably. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We'll go in the pepper. I'm not going to do too much because I don't want to sneeze again. Okay, then we're going to do the garlic powder. Garlic powder. And I always tell people to, I know some people, they have the seasoning already in their bowls and everything. But I'm old school, so I'm still doing the old school way. If you hold the seasoning up, you can see how much you are putting on there, and you won't over season. I just taught my daughter that last week. If you hold the seasoning up high in the sky, hey, that rhymes, then you will see how much you put in. So we're going to go in with the parsley. You can use fresh parsley if you want, but I'm going to use this. And then also we're going to add bay leaves too at the very end, and a little dabs of margarine. Okay, so then we're going to go in with Worcestershire. Just a dab of it. And then we're going to go in with the teriyaki. And this is just going to give your meat such a great flavor. I've made, I think I've made teriyaki chicken before. So you just want to make sure with the teriyaki that it coats the whole meat, all of the meat. I didn't put a lot of the Worcestershire because I didn't want it to overpower it because it's salty. So we're just going to go in with our onions and bell pepper, like so. Too bad I didn't have any red bell pepper or yellow. That would have looked real nice on this. But anyway, this is how it's looking, y'all. You see it? Okay, now I'm going to put a few bay leaves. Bay leaves are strong, so you don't need a whole lot of them. If you can find one like that, that's cool. And I'm going to find one more. That's it. So you just only need a few leaves. And bay leaves, they are awesome on steak, anything really that you cook. Very good in my beef stew. I use it in my roast. I use it a lot. Okay, so now we're going to add some butter here and there, or margarine. And we're going to, I'm getting a call. Okay, I was getting a call, y'all. So, I just wanted to show you how to season it. Like I said, you can season it however you want. Okay, so I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to cover this with my roasting pan, and I'm going to let this bake for close to an hour, like 45 minutes, until it's tender. I'm going to put the lid over it, and then I'm going to take the lid off the last half hour of the cooking process, and I'm going to let it brown. So when I come back, I'll be showing you how this steak look, y'all. All right now.